Thank you. I'm Peter Halacsy from Budapest or San Francisco. It depends what you want. I have a presentation which is coming soon. Yeah, and then I make jokes about venture capitals keeping time. So, who knows Prezi? Wow! Yeah, so Prezi is a presentation tool. Thank you so much for knowing it. We started 2008 in Budapest, Hungary, and I want to tell my story, our story, and prove that you don't have to build Silicon Valley here. Doesn't make any sense. You can invest in companies making conference technology, so providing solid, rock-solid technology for conferences is a business niche. That's me. Thank you. So this is my presentation. It's going to be long, but before the presentation, I want to show this video for you guys with sound. I think you know this. Hop. That was him. Hop. Okay, I go back. Forget it. I solve all problems. I'm an entrepreneur. Okay, who knew this video? Great. I will prove you that this is very, very wrong. See that sentence, global businesses are thriving your talent. You should thrive your own talent. You should be the global business. Okay, this is what I want to prove. Who thinks that talent is very important to start a business? Wrong. Who thinks money is important? Who thinks Stanford is important? Who thinks Silicon Valley is important? Wrong. I will tell you what you guys need. But before I tell you, let me tell my own story. So between 14 and 24, I was a very, very talented guy. For example, I organized school camps in the school district. You know, I was this busy guy. I was the leader of the student committee. I had good grades at a good university in Hungary, almost Stanford. I worked on small projects just for fun. I married at 24. Big success, right? I was on the right way. I was smart, I was sharp, I was a leader in my very small local community. I never did anything really uncomfortable in my life. I never did any big effort because I was talented. I didn't have to learn, right? I didn't have to stretch myself. There was always one direction in my life which I could follow. It's a great life until a while. So 25, 26, this is what I call the tragedy of talented people. And half of this room will have this crisis, I promise. Because I work with so many young, talented people. So one of my mentors asked me, okay, Peter, what are you good at it, really? This is how my personal crisis started. Since then, I ask this question on every interview before I hire anybody. So, as a talented people, your performance is growing, you are talented, you are doing really, really well. And after a while, your performance starts dropping, right? Because your talent was enough for that performance. But you are doing whatever you were doing in your life. Everybody is doing what gave him or her big positive feedback, right? I'm a talented speaker, so I don't practice. I always improvise. So that's why, after a while, my talks quality are not increasing. So I learned how to practice. So you have other direction. Be out of your comfort zone and stretch yourself. Whenever you feel you are doing something, you are bad at it, you are on the right direction after a while. Okay? So I divorced at 25. I think that was my first useful. Slightly crazy idea. I didn't know what to do. Moving back to my mom. Yeah. Ooh. I left a cool job. I was a lead developer. I was 25. I was a lead developer of the largest Hungarian portal. Right. I was really lost, right? And now what? What's the next step? So 26, 27 was about facing with my own personal issues, right? You are divorced. The first is, yeah, it was she. But after a while, you get the unpleasant questions. What was your role in that divorce, in that marriage, and things like that. So the first time when I recognized that I was not perfect, and since then I feel that the crisis in my life, this is, not a suggestion, but crisis in my life were accelerator. I could quote Kennedy, who says that crisis is a danger and other opportunity. I really loved it. The crisis of today is the joke of tomorrow, A.G. Wells. The crisis of today is the topic of your presentation tomorrow. It's my quote you can use. So I started practicing growth, my personal growth. And here is one story of my life. I was a university professor. I left the cool job. I was a university professor. University professors are as boring people as I was. This is my publication list. As you can see, it's not about visual communication. I didn't care about anybody else. I just writing my papers. And I was invited to give a talk about how Google disrupts the business model. We are in 2007, how Google disrupts the advertisement business market in Hungary, how it's going to do that. So I remember the guy, Adam Somlai-Fischer, who is my co-founder today, who was a designer architect who never built any useful buildings. So that's the great architect. And he had this idea that instead of presenting with slides, just put on your ideas on a big map, and the whole presentation is a journey, right? Architect. So I emailed him, hey Adam, I knew you have this presentation tool. I'm going to give this very important presentation. Send me over your this tool. What was that? And he emailed me back, hey, look, there is nothing I created. I drew my presentation, but here is the file I used. So I created my first ever presentation, which looked like this. I was a computer scientist, so I put slides on a big canvas, and I had to use a product called Flash to draw my presentation. It was really annoying and frustrating, but this presentation gave me a great success. So we had a slightly crazy idea to create a product for it. I didn't know anything about web programming. No, I did about computer graphics. I didn't know about anything about entrepreneurship, startups. I just wanted to use that tool, and it was a great idea. So we met, and the second slightly crazy idea comes from this guy, who is the third co-founder of Prezi. Peter Arvey, who was born and raised in Sweden with Hungarian parents, emailed me. He wanted to hire me for a job. And he was the only guy I knew that time who knew anything about startups. So I emailed him, hey, Peter, we have this idea. We want to do this. Now what? 2 months later, he moved to Budapest from Stockholm. He worked for Prezi for a year without salary, and he had a slightly crazy idea. Why don't we build a big company, not just a product? This is a big thing. People love it. So we started working on this Prezi. Can you take down the voice? I wanted to show you. It was in 2009. Since then, when I in a situation I don't feel very well, I remember this video or this time. That was 2009 when we launched Prezi. That was the same month when I married the second time. Second marriage is always better. I have 2 children, happy life. So when am I thinking about, hey, now something hard is coming, I remember when I was, and that was my bachelor party. And I remember when they opened the door of the airplane and they said, jump. No way. No fucking way. That's 3 kilometers, right? Then I said, so many people jumped. Maybe we should try it. I won't die, I hope. And then I won't remember. So I jumped. Again, stretch yourself. So, let's see some science behind this whole. In 2006, this book was published about the mindset, and it says that you need to work on this technology as well. That the mindset matters. And I tell you what this mindset is. There was an experiment. This is social science. Welcome to social science. Social science, we play games with real people. And they asked kids to solve puzzle. And when they solved the puzzle, they had 2 groups. They separated 2 groups. For group A, they said, great score. You must be smart at this, like American way, awesome. You must be smart at this. To the other group, they said, you must have tried really hard. There is no other difference between the 2 groups of kids, right? Stay with me. We call the first as the fixed mindset, because you are talented, it's fixed, you cannot change that, you was born as talented. The other is growth. You grew to achieve that goal. And look at the consequences, 1 sentence. And the other is, I need this. Willingness to take change. They asked them, was it easy? The next puzzle should be easy or hard one. The fixed mindset kids ask for the easy one. I want the easy challenge. The growth wanted the hard one. When they got a harder challenge, so how they confronting with difficulties, poor performance versus high performance. Improvement, back to the original problem, solve the same problem again. The fixed, lower performance, that's the first time, crazy. Higher performance, and I love this, accepting the situation. They ask this, what was your score at the first time? Kids with the fixed mindset lied. 30% of them lied, and 10% of the growth mindset. Mindset. Mindset can be said by one sentence. Think about that video again. Lithuanians are talented. That's a fixed mindset. You cannot change that. When you first will face a difficulty, you are going to fail if you think you are talented. If you think you can grow, you will solve the problem. Next, social science. I love this. How you can kill entrepreneur drives of girls. Easy. Very, very easy. And we do every day. So when you combine ability threads, so group of girls, and they presented a made-up, a fake article which suggested that entrepreneurs are aggressive, risk-takers, and autonomous, so a very, very male personality. And then they gave other article which said their mindset to fixed mindset, that entrepreneur ability is fixed and cannot be developed. They told them this, suggested this. Then the result is less positive entrepreneur self-efficacy, like the ability to produce, to design, intent, and results. So they asked them, can you do that? Can you be an entrepreneur? And they ranked themselves lower, just because they heard that entrepreneurship shouldn't, it's a talent, and they don't have the skills for that. And of course, when you have the growth mindset, then it's a buffer against threat, and here are the reasons. Does it make sense? It's crazy. One sentence can change your mindset. So again, what do we think about this video? Does it really foster entrepreneurship in this country or not? I think it's not. So back to Prezi. So from 2009, 2013, how do we stretch ourselves? Prezi was launched in Budapest in 2009. This is a Hungarian company having office in San Francisco. We have investors, VCs. Prezi raised, for example, $40 million Series B. Excel partners, which is Dropbox, Facebook, Etsy, Squarespace. So companies like this, we are in the same club. I love this. We have a freemium model. Company has been cash flow positive since year one. Prezi makes money on the global market from Budapest from year one. So it's easy to raise money, as one of the speakers taught us. This is our growth. This is 2012, November. We had 16 million users per. Today we have 30-ish million users. It's not a public information, so don't tell to anyone. So it's an exponential growth. And the company now has more than 140 employees in Budapest, San Francisco. That was the company. So why did we go to the USA? And for two things. One is, US is the biggest homogeneous market. From day one, we were thinking about a global success. I don't care about the US market itself. It's great, but just the starting point to spread Prezi around the world. I want to change how people communicate. I don't want to change how Americans communicate. For that, it's really good to go in the US as your first success. So today, 50% of our users come from the United States. 50% are not coming from the United States, which is a very, very unique feature of an American company. Dropbox, 70–80% of their users are coming from the US, because from day one, as somebody just said, we were thinking globally, right? Because who cares about Hungary, Europe? Then the next is the global market. But US has the soft power. You can go there, you can learn, you have a lot of things to do there. That's why I have been living there for 3 years, or there and in Budapest. That's why we have, for example, a big fellowship program. Every Prezi employee has to go to San Francisco every year and work there for a month on the Hungarian payroll, so tax is solved. And I love this example. When we launched, we were a European company, very proud of the euro. So we had this pricing page with euro. People didn't get it. Americans didn't get this euro. So we swapped from, or changed from euro to dollar. Americans immediately understand, and for Europeans, it's cooler. So, it's not bad. But why do we have then a Budapest office? Why did I move back to Hungary in 2011? I'm the only one Eastern European who moves back from California to Eastern Europe, or I guess there are 20 others. So why? And it's not about being cheap. Of course, being cheap is always good. I think we have extra sense of purpose. As the presenter before me just suggested, you can change this country. Don't wait for the government. They won't. European governments are not as effective as you guys as entrepreneurs and the next generation. So for example, I'm really proud of 2 projects in Hungary. One is the Budapest Pride. As I know, it's controversial even here. So Prezi was, that's me, there, which one? Prezi was the first ever business in Hungary which supported the Hungarian Pride 2 years ago. This year, we had 452 companies in Hungary supporting the Pride. So we could change how a country approaches the gay rights. We together, if you want. You don't have to. I love this other project. This is when we go to local minorities, what is in Hungary, the Roma, Gypsy people, living in very in ghettos. San Francisco tenderloin is a luxury compared to the Hungarian ghettos. And what we did is, we collected all Prezi employees around the world. They flew in, and we went to a small village, and for 2 days, 150 startup entrepreneurs, engineers, designers, product managers, everybody, we worked together to renovate the whole village. Imagine how much work we can do just because we believe we can do it. So we gave a huge energy shock to the whole village, and I believe that could help that community to grow. And of course, we are stretching them. For example, we hired Helena from the community, and we are teaching them computer, we are teaching them English. There's no excuse. He has to come to all meetings which are in English. There's no excuse. We are stretching people. So this is what I call the make business globally, but think locally. And of course, it's easier to hire in Eastern Europe. Not just because we can have the top engineers, but we can have the engineers and people who care about this extra sense of purpose. Not just the stock options, not just the money. They are more loyal people here, because we care about our own country, our own local communities. So you can just do it. And Budapest is cool, and this is for Americans. So they are very proud of Zeitgeist, the San Francisco bar. There is only one open door bar. This is how it looks like. This is Hungarian open door bars, the ruined pubs, and I guess Vilnius is very similar to that. So Budapest is just, I think, cooler than San Francisco, sometimes. So basically, this is what I wanted to tell. My story, how I changed from fixed mindset to growth mindset, and how I challenge myself every day, and how do I face my lack of skills of doing things, and how I enjoying that for achieving a high or some purpose. So I think the mindset which makes you entrepreneur, not Stanford, the mindset. And I am the only speaker who finished his talk earlier.
That was great. So you probably got the feeling you're getting something from us. So here comes the bag, and you do get a Frisbee. How many people want to have a chat with him afterwards? How many people want to have a chat with him? How many people? Who would that be?
I'm here. That's why
I can't see anyone. Do you? I don't know what's happening.
How to solve this?
We have a few Frisbees, so how many do you need?
I'm here until Monday, 6 p.m. I came here to change this country. I came here to change Europe. I came here to change your mindset.
So this is Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Nice.
Sorry. I'm out of control.
That was fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank
and this
you.
is for you.